Hello and welcome back to Society Case Files. Today I wanted to do a special video where I just talk about some of the games that I've already done a video on. I'm going to go through Cheap Shark and see if they are on sale or if there's any good deals for them. And I also want to talk about Star Wars: The Old Republic, since they just sent me an email and got themselves back in my head. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Otherwise, we will dive right in. Over the past couple of months, I've talked about quite a few games, and I've got Cheap Shark up here, so I thought I would just take a look and see if any of them are available for a good deal. I know that Outlaws just showed up on Steam, so I thought we could take a look here, and it looks like it is not on sale yet. It's pretty much the same price everywhere. And you save a few bucks on the Ubisoft store. And the season pass is up for a couple bucks off on Games Planet. But for the most part, you're not going to get much of a deal with them. Starship Troopers Extermination. Let's see. What do we got? Nope, it's still pretty expensive. The normal price is $49. I guess you could save a few bucks and get it on Game Billet if you wanted it. Not sure if it's worth it yet. At that price, I'd probably save a little bit of money. I'm sure that there will be something on the winter sale at Steam that should get us a good deal. Let's look at Assassin's Creed Mirage. Oh, now this one may be actually a lot better. So 49 bucks normally. Ubisoft is selling it for 20 bucks. You can also get it by just playing or paying for Ubi Connect, and that goes with Outlaws as well. So I guess you could just spend 15 bucks to play them if you just want to play them for a little while. New World, Aeternum. What do we got? Nope, just on Steam, still 60 bucks. Worshippers of Cthulhu. I do not expect this one to be on sale because it's on early release anyway. But actually, it looks like you could save $5 on the Win Game Store. Don't even know who they are. But there you go. And it's only $25 anyway. And that game is absolutely worth it. So I would definitely do it for 25 bucks even. All right, Dragon Age Veilguard. What do we got? Nothing. Still the same price as always. Yep. 80 bucks. Definitely worth it to just pay the EA fee and play it if you want to try it. Now, I already know that Inquisitor Martyr has an amazing deal going on right now. This is what brought me to do this. There is a definitive edition. Here it is. This has pretty much everything, and it is $13.50 on Fanatical. It's $17 on Steam, even though it's not showing it here. But you can get it there, and that's absolutely worth it. There's so much gameplay there and so many crazy bits that you could use. I would definitely pick it up for that price. I don't think it'll be better at the winter sale. And let's look at Vermintide 2. Vermintide 2, let's see. What is this? Is that it? Oh, have to take a look at this one and see. Yeah, there you go. Pretty good deal. It's normally $39, and right now it's 80% off or $7.90. So Vermintide 2, absolutely worth it to pick that up for such a low price. You don't get all of the DLC, it looks like, but you get quite a few things. Probably worth picking up. And this new whatever this is. Let's look at it on Fanatical really quick. My goodness. So on Steam, you could get that for $1.49. Okay. So yeah, super cheap. Absolutely worth it. Recommended. And finally, we got two left. One of them is an absolute guarantee that it will not be on sale. But this one, Battle Sector, normally $40, currently on sale for $15. That's a pretty good deal. The funny part is that the DLC for them, the factions and stuff, are always fairly expensive. So like the Tau here are normally 15. You can get them for 12. This GOG version, that's the normal price pretty much. Now there's the Necrons for $7. So there's some different things here. If you wanted to try Battle Sector, this is not a bad price for it, $15. You'd have to fork over a little more to get one of your favorite factions if they're in the game. So there you go. That is Battle Sector. And of course, Stalker 2 is not going to be on any kind of real sale. $59 normally. However, I'm pretty darn sure that if you go to Green Man Gaming and you bought anything else there, you might be able to get your normal discount. Let's just add it to the cart and see. Nope. Looks like you cannot get even the little 10% off thing that you'd normally get at Green Man. They are not offering it for that game. So yeah, I knew it wasn't going to be on sale, but I wanted to check anyway, just because, you know, there's always something crazy going on with some of these smaller distributors. And even at this indie gala, you can save $4. So if you're excited about Stalker 2 and you figure that you are absolutely going to play it for an extended period of time, you might save a few dollars if you really wanted to, or you could get it on Game Pass. A quick note on Game Pass, I did do my review and I talked about how there was some stuttering when I was playing the game, turning specifically. If I turned to the left or the right, there'd be this moment hesitation. And I found the solution to that was that in the task manager, there's this thing called game service that has to be terminated. And when you take care of that service, the game ran smoothly. And the reason that I was even looking into that, because I had heard Stalker 2 had some bugs anyway, so I was going to ignore it. But when I played Mech Warrior Mercenaries, or clans rather, not mercenaries, it also had the exact same hesitation. So I figured it had to be Game Pass because no other game was doing it. And then I found that solution. So if you're using Game Pass, that's the problem, and that's the solution. I had trouble playing Call of Duty, the new Call of Duty, on it, on Game Pass, and so I might reinstall it just to see if I experience the same thing, but who knows. The second thing I wanted to talk about was Star Wars: The Old Republic. They have added this Legacy of the Sith expansion. Now, the reason this came up is that I got an email today that said that Star Wars was going to release legacy names, or names that were on inactive characters, and that if I wanted to keep my names, I needed to log into the game and, or at least preserve my names, I guess. So I did. I logged in, and I hadn't played in a very long time. I had a lot of characters because throughout the time I played, I would make a new one just to tinker around or try new stuff, that kind of thing. When this came out 12 years ago, as of December 20th, it'll be 12 years. And I played it way, way, way too much. I beat every one of the classes 2 times, dark and light. And I mean, I loved the storyline. I liked the graphics back then. It was just super fun. I would have easily put it in my top 10 favorite MMOs, especially back then. The problem with the game really came from when they tried to do expansions. And I kind of knew, you know, they had all this time to build 8 distinct storylines that were going to be amazing. And then they released the expansions, and those expansions just kind of fell short of the quality that the original game presented. And so I didn't really like the first one that came out. The second one was okay, but it wasn't great. And then they did their whole a return to BioWare storytelling. And it was just, well, first off, they drip fed you the chapters to try and draw out your subscription, because you had to be subscribed to play it, I think. It's been a while, so I can't remember exactly how that worked, but I'm pretty sure you had to be subscribed to play it. And then you did the chapters. They were fairly short, and they had the illusion of choice. Ultimately, the choices didn't mean anything. There was nothing specific to your class. So even though it was very heavy force driven, your characters that had nothing to do with the force, whether it was the scoundrel or the bounty hunter or the Imperial agent, it didn't matter, because they still ended up getting into some crazy mysticism nonsense. And it just felt so cheap. Then they released the second chapter of it, or the second part, I guess I should say. And there was like 8 chapters in that, and they gave them to you all at once so that you could binge them. And I played through all of those as well, and it was no different. It was still very little choice. It was very railroad, even though there were moments where you would be able to decide the fate of someone. It didn't matter what you did in the end. All around, I didn't really like what happened afterward. All that said, the beginning of the game, the original 8 stories, are absolutely still worth playing, and you can do them for free. You might have to do a little grinding because they do lock some of the experience progress behind the paywall of the subscription. But, even without that, you should be able to get through the story pretty well. They have really streamlined the game a lot since I played it. Back then, you had to do a bunch of the side quests in order to survive the main quest, which was kind of crazy. Because, like, for example, the Jedi Knight has a planet-wide threat they're dealing with in their primary story at one point. And in order to have the power to survive the main fights in that, you end up having to do side quests like finding a guy's toys that he left behind when raiders attacked his village. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense that you're on a clock that is counting down to the destruction of the entire planet, and you're having to do these other things. So what they've done is they eliminated the need to do side quests. You can advance just fine by just sticking to the main story. Side quests are just for fun now. You don't have to do any of them. So that's kind of cool in the sense that you can kind of feel like it's more of an epic story that moves much like the movies rather than a bunch of busy work and chores. One of the things that I thought was kind of funny is that they are a little greedy in the sense that when I logged in, it showed that I'm now a preferred player instead of a subscribed player, and it shows all my restrictions. And one of those is that you can only have 1 million credits on a character at a time, and all the rest go into escrow. That's totally cheap. They should have put it into your vault, but they didn't. And so I log into all the characters I'm going to delete because I just had way too many, and you can only have a certain number active. So I delete all the ones that I don't care about. And as I'm doing that, I log in and I'm transferring their money into the vault. So at the end of deleting them all, I had like 4 or 5 million credits in the vault. Then I log into my main character and she's got the cool 1 million. That's it. Just, the perfect amount. So I'm like, well, how much do I have in escrow? It can't be too much more than that. I couldn't remember having a lot of money. Well, it turned out I had 50 million. And it's all in escrow. So I go and dump 800,000 credits into the vault thinking maybe I can piecemeal it out and put it into the vault. No. The way that they make it work is that in order to take your money from escrow, you have to use cartel coins, which are premium currency. And it's like 240 cartel coins to pull 600K of your money out. And then you can do whatever you want at that point. But it would have cost a lot of real world money or all of my credits to get even half of my cash out of the escrow. And I just thought that was a little cheap. I mean, I could have put it into the vault anyway before I quit. I didn't even think about it. And while I haven't played the game in a very long time, I probably wasn't planning on playing the game. There was just something about it that made me possessive. I was like, I earned that money. I want it. I don't know. It was kind of silly, but whatever. The point is that they do have some, I don't necessarily want to call them shady, but they are a little bit greedy, these practices, especially with the cartel coins. Now I had 5,000. I could have gotten quite a bit of it out if I wanted to, but again, I don't even know what money's good for anymore in the game. I don't even know what the credits would do for me. I don't know how the gear works. There's so many things about the game that have changed since I played last that I'm pretty sure that if I tried to play my 78th level character, I would be completely lost. I'd have so many powers, I wouldn't even know where to begin. I'd have to go watch a video on YouTube just to learn how to play my character or start over from scratch and play through it again, which, to be honest, I was very tempted by that prospect this morning, but I kind of have decided that it's just not something that I think has much value anymore. I don't really believe that they're going to be advancing this game very much in the near future. I don't think we're going to see too many big changes You know, people have said that there won't be any huge expansions, even though they've got this Legacy of the Sith and, you know, some other story stuff coming. I can't imagine it's going to be as big as they've ever done before. I know that there's a new developer that's taken over and they've cut back their numbers supposedly. So there's a good chance that this game is, while it's not on maintenance mode, I think that they're just going to do the bare minimum to keep it going and provide just enough to allow the players who are in it to have something to do. Right now, we're looking at around 19,000 players on average, and they've got 12.9 million players either subscribed or in the system. That's, I guess, up to you to decide if it's worth trying. I would say that playing through those initial campaigns is super fun, but even as you're looking here at some of these graphics, they're not the best these days. They do need some updates. As cartoony as they were and stylized, which was neat, when you're in the game playing, the animations feel a little clunky now. The backgrounds are still pretty good, but I don't know. It would be a hard sell for me to say that you should absolutely do it, other than for free. I do see here that one of the free-to-play changes is they made the Rise of the Hutt Cartel and the Shadow of Revan expansions are now available to everybody. Those were the two expansions that I was least excited about when I played through them, especially Rise of the Hutt Cartel. That was kind of a slog, to be honest, when it first came out. I have no idea how it is now. It's probably very easy. That's one thing I noticed when I went back the last time and played through a character. Everything had become quite simple, and I don't necessarily want to say dumbed down, but you could walk through stuff pretty easily, especially now that you can pick any build you want. I mean, my primary Jedi character is an assassin, which used to be relegated only to the Sith sorcerer. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to talk about today was the price of those games and this old MMO. Have you ever played Star Wars The Old Republic? Are you still playing it? Is this a game you plan on playing in the future? Do you like the idea of going through the story? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.